Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about the fact that Bitcoin has confirmed a massive breakout here on this weekly time frame, with the most recent weekly close about a few days ago closing around $28,000. And this does fall well and comfortably above the range highs, really just representing a very bullish breakout outside of this range. And the range is with the support at $18,600 and the resistance at around $24,300. You can see the price basically oscillated and fluctuated between those two levels of support and resistance, with the brief fake out right here due to the FTX crash. And then again, after the reclaim of the range lows, Bitcoin traded back up and resisted at the range highs on the move up in January as well as February. But more importantly, over the last few weeks, we have seen that massive breakout above the range. We're holding this level around 27K, and the weekly close has given us confirmation here, as it has had a full weekly candle closing above this, and the entire candle body of this week does remain above that breakout point. So it is very likely that this is going to be seen with upside continuation, because that is what we would expect after a big breakout, especially from a very long-term range, going all the way back here to basically June, when we saw that big capitulation down to the first low at 17.5K. So the fact that we're starting to exit this range is a very bullish sign. And what we want to see is just continuing to hold above this, really just the opposite of what happened during the FTX fake out. And of course, what happened was we had the price reclaim, it didn't flip back into resistance, and the bears were unable to see any follow through or continuation. For the bear market trend to have continued, we'd have had to seen this flip into resistance and then continue to the downside, breaking below support. So the fact that we haven't seen that yet, we're still holding above this level, is a promising sign. And going forward, we just want to see this continue to hold. So as long as the breakout point at 24K does hold on the weekly closes, my longer term view is still very bullish on Bitcoin. So zooming out here into the next few weeks, a few potential scenarios that we could see that would support this bullish narrative would potentially be some consolidation. The most bullish scenario is if we just have a little bit of accumulation here before an eventual second leg up higher. And this would be the most bullish scenario, because it wouldn't really risk coming back down and losing this as support. And the other option that we could have is potentially a retest, which again does start to get a little bit dicey if we're starting to lose the range highs at 24K. But in that scenario, that would look something like this, where the weekly closes start to come back down here, retest that level, but flip it into support. And then from there, we start to trend back up higher, with this marking a higher low. And either of those scenarios would still be very, very bullish, with price targets upwards towards this previous range from back here in 2021 at 31K, and then targeting some of these lower highs up in the 40K range. And I do think that those are some very reasonable targets to be expecting in this year, as long as Bitcoin is holding above that level. Again, the thing that we do not want to see would be the price coming back below this and then closing under it, printing a deviation to the upside. It would basically be the same exact pattern that we saw from back here in November and December, but to the upside, where instead of having the fake out to the downside, it would be a fake out to the upside. So that's just not something we want to see. And as long as the price can hold above that level, I think those targets at 31 and then up to the 40K range are very reasonable and very likely, given that we have seen a massive breakout again on this weekly time frame, given that we have exited this multi-month long range. We've started to print higher highs, we've started to print higher lows, all signs very indicative of a big reversal to this bear market trend. All signs that we do have a longer term cycle low in place, and that we are beginning to start a new uptrend. Whether that is to be expected with massive pullbacks and longer term accumulation along the way, we're gonna have to wait and see, but I do think that the longer term direction does remain to the upside. Again, do expect some shakeouts, and if we were to come back down, we could see that shakeout at the 24K region. But again, I still think that those upside targets are highly likely, as long as we can hold the breakout point. So I hope you guys did enjoy the content and the analysis, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.